Since China successfully developed and first tested the C919 passenger aircraft in 2017, it has become the fourth country in the world to master the independent technology of medium-range trunk passenger aircraft. Surprisingly, this aircraft has received more than thousands of orders in just a few years, and customers come from more than 40 countries around the world. This is undoubtedly a huge achievement, but it should be noted that the production and delivery of C919 currently faces a considerable challenge. It is understood that the annual delivery volume of C919 is only about 11. According to the current accumulated orders, it may take more than 128 years to complete the delivery of all orders. This figure has attracted some Western media to sneer at C919. They believe that although China has mastered the technology of independently developing large aircraft, it does not have enough industrial chain to support large-scale mass production, and C919 may eventually face the fate of failure. So the question is, why can't the production of C919 be increased? What is the next step for China's aircraft industry in the future? If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now let's get into today's topic. According to Airbus's forecast, China is expected to become the world's largest aviation service market in the next 20 years. Due to the huge domestic market demand, China's air passenger traffic is expected to grow at an annual rate of 5.2%, almost twice the global average. In addition, China's demand for new aircraft is expected to exceed 9,000, accounting for 23% of the total global demand for new aircraft during the same period. By 2042, the total value of China's aviation services market is expected to reach $541 billion, with a compound annual growth rate of 5.8%. And there will be more than 10,930 aircraft in service that need services. It is regrettable that although the C919 has received a large number of orders in China since its successful development, the current production capacity is far from meeting the market demand. As far as I know, there are many reasons why C919 production cannot keep up with orders. First of all, although the C919 is a large passenger aircraft independently developed by China, it still relies on technical support from Western countries in terms of core technologies such as aviation engines, electronic systems, and control systems. In addition, because the aircraft manufacturing process is extremely complex, involving hundreds of thousands or even millions of parts and thousands of processes, about 40% of the parts need to be imported from Western countries. Therefore, the United States and the West are also taking advantage of this to curb the manufacturing of C919. Coupled with the impact of global semiconductor shortages and tight supply chains, raw material price fluctuations and uncertainty in delivery cycles have further intensified the production pressure of the C919. It is worth noting that since this year, China has made significant progress in the independent technology of the C919 aviation industry, and the current autonomy ratio of the entire aircraft has nearly exceeded 70%. I believe that in the near future, we are expected to see C919 achieve 100% autonomy, which will also completely change the situation of limited production capacity. But at present, the core problem of insufficient C919 production actually lies in the production capacity of the assembly plant. As of the end of 2023, the order volume of C919 has exceeded 1,200 aircraft. Together with this year's new orders, the total number has exceeded 1,400 aircraft. It is indeed a remarkable achievement for a new passenger aircraft to obtain so many orders in such a short period of time. But for some people, there is also a bit of embarrassment behind it. As far as I know, the current production of C919 is mainly concentrated on a production line in Pudong, Shanghai. This single, centralized production model has brought considerable pressure on supply chain management, quality control, and talent training. Data shows that China can only deliver 11 C919s to the market every year. Calculated at the current production rate, it may take a full 128 years to complete all 1,400 orders. It is undeniable that the current annual production of C919 is far from meeting order demand. If production capacity cannot be increased as soon as possible, it may affect customer confidence and even lead to the loss of some orders. So, how will China deal with this problem? In fact, facing the market's eager anticipation for C919, COMAC has long been aware of the problem of insufficient production capacity. So from the beginning of 2023, COMAC plans to build a second C919 assembly plant to ease the pressure caused by the backlog of orders. However, in the entire industrial chain of the aviation industry, the economic value and strategic significance of the assembly plant are the highest, which has also led to a fierce competition for the second C919 assembly plant in many provinces in China. Because of this, due to the fierce competition in various places, the site selection process was somewhat hesitant, resulting in some delays in the project. It was not until October 2024 that COMAC finally finalized the site selection for the second C919 assembly plant, still in Shanghai. The total construction area of this new plant is about 330,000 square meters, with a total investment of up to $1.67 billion. It is understood that the new factory is planned to have 4 highly automated assembly lines, equipped with modern production facilities and efficient automated assembly line operations. After completion, it is expected to effectively support the future mass production of C919. According to COMAC's plan, from 2025 to 2027, the annual delivery of C919 is expected to increase to 30 aircraft per year and will be gradually allocated to major airlines. What is even more surprising is that in the next 5 years, the 2 production lines will run side by side, and the production capacity plan will reach 150 aircraft per year. Although even at this production speed, it will still take at least 10 years to complete the existing 1,400 orders, but this is already a great improvement. If everything goes smoothly and the goal of annual production of 150 aircraft is achieved by 2031, it means that C919 will completely break the monopoly of the international market and truly form a 3-legged state with Boeing and Airbus. In addition, in May this year, COMAC participated in the Future Aviation Forum held in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, with the aim of promoting C919 and ARJ-21 regional aircraft to the Middle East market and showcasing their highly automated C919 production line. The forum was hosted by Saudi Arabia and attracted more than 5,000 aviation experts and practitioners from more than 120 countries around the world. During the forum, Saudi Arabian Airlines made a striking cooperation proposal to COMAC. They hope to invite COMAC to establish a production assembly line in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. This proposal undoubtedly shows Saudi Arabia's interest and trust in Chinese aircraft. By May 20th, Saudi Arabian Airlines also launched detailed negotiations with COMAC on the C919 jet to gain a deeper understanding of the performance and technical specifications of the model. Although COMAC has not yet made a specific decision on this cooperation proposal, its statement at the forum has clearly expressed its attention to the Saudi market and its commitment to the development of a global aviation network. Faced with Saudi Arabia's invitation, once China agrees to establish a new C919 production line locally, plus the 2 existing production lines in the country, it will undoubtedly double the production capacity of C919. However, China's move to accelerate the expansion of production lines has also sparked some heated discussions. Some people believe that although European and American manufacturers have not completely banned the supply of parts to C919, the supply is still subject to certain restrictions. If China accelerates the construction of more production lines, whether it can obtain enough parts from European and American manufacturers to meet production needs is still a big challenge. Moreover, if faced with the rapid expansion of C919, European and American manufacturers decide to take extreme measures, such as suddenly stopping the supply of key parts, it will undoubtedly be a heavy blow to the production of C919. In fact, the current number of orders for C919 has exceeded 1,400, which means that thousands of engines and other key avionics equipment are needed. Such a large order and lucrative profits are obviously opportunities that European and American manufacturers cannot ignore. In the long run, if they choose to stop supply, it is tantamount to cutting off their own financial resources. Therefore, in any case, C919 should not face too serious problems in the supply of parts, especially when driven by interests. It is difficult for European and American manufacturers to give up this tempting big cake. Even if the European and American governments announce that they want to curb the development of C919 production, these manufacturers have long set their sights on the Chinese market, so they have built factories in China early. So it is impossible for Europe and the United States to pass a stronger ban. Judging from the above information, there are basically no major problems in terms of production capacity or technology supply. However, the biggest challenge facing C919 is the issue of airworthiness certificate. In order to make a breakthrough in the international aviation market, COMAC must obtain certification from FAA or ESA. The certification of these two major organizations is regarded as the gold standard of the international aviation industry. Only by passing their strict review can C919 operate widely in the global market. It can be said that obtaining airworthiness certificates in major European and American markets is the only way for C919. Some people believe that the rise of C919 is regarded as a threat by European and American aviation giants, which may be the reason for the slow progress of airworthiness certificate approval. However, it is worth noting that the European Aviation Safety Agency is currently actively evaluating C919 and recently made a special trip to Shanghai for inspection. In the end, ESA highly praised COMAC's performance. So many people believe that the EU is likely to approve C919's airworthiness certificate. There is also news from within that C919 is expected to obtain the EU airworthiness certificate next year. Once the C919 is successfully approved for airworthiness, orders from Europe, America, and Asia will further increase in the future, which will also play a positive role in promoting the C919 in the international market. In the future, this Chinese large aircraft may really be expected to rank among the world's top 3 aviation manufacturers. To not miss out on our future projects and news updates, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We will continue to provide you with more exciting and interesting content.